Lena, a teenager, arrives with her parents at her older brother Noah's recital. They are very close, but their closeness isn't normal. When she sees him flirting with a girl, a fierce wave of jealousy washes over her. She leaves the room to calm down and, when she returns, tries to hide her feelings. She can't stand listening to the performance, and her restlessness grows. When it ends, the stage turns into a party. Noah's musician friends and acquaintances gather to celebrate. The music gets louder and everyone laughs. A familiar young woman approaches him flirtatiously, plays with the tone of her voice and suddenly punches him in the nose on behalf of a friend. Blood appears immediately and the group comes to a halt. Tension settles in as the laughter fades away. Lena reacts and runs toward Noah. She wipes the trickle of blood running from his nose, gets very close to his face and asks what happened. Noah admits that the girl is a friend of a student he had a fling with and never called again. Lena's anger flares up when she discovers how inconsiderate he was. The discomfort turns into a heavy silence. While everyone else dances, Lena remains seated, motionless, watching her brother. She sees him ask Cecilia to dance, and jealousy floods her once again. She lets her hair down, walks toward them, and steps in with precise movements, skillfully separating them. Noah notices what she's doing and his displeasure turns into a cold stare. The music shifts to a slow melody, and the tension lingers between the two of them. Not wanting to seem rude, Noah stays. She puts her arms around his neck, holds him close, and keeps him from pulling away. Their lips are dangerously close. Their breaths mingle and suddenly they kiss passionately, just as they do in secret. They forget they're in public, and the consequences come instantly. Their parents witness the kiss and are left frozen in shock. The next morning, Lena wakes up in her room. For a moment she thinks it was all just a nightmare, but it wasn't. Her parents have decided to ignore what happened, to overlook the obvious. She goes down to the kitchen for some water, her mind in disarray. Other people's denial only feeds her unease. In the living room, she finds Noah asleep on the couch. She watches him in silence. He seems adorable to her in that defenseless sleep. She approaches, touches him, and jumps on him to tickle him. He laughs. They wrestle laughing and then relax into a hug. She falls asleep in his arms without resolving anything. Shortly after, Noah has to leave for work. He works in excavations and fossil discoveries and has been hired in Turkey. The family says goodbye to him at the airport. The farewell is brief and calm. Lena arrives late. She had gone out to buy him a gift and misses the moment. The glass between them seals a distance that weighs heavily. She knows the flight has landed and starts writing to him. She sends him emails, voice notes, urgent and affectionate messages. When she doesn't get a response, she sends more, insists, doubles the frequency. It doesn't happen in a day. It stretches into weeks of absolute silence. Anxiety turns into obsession. During that time, Lena decides to distract herself. She goes out to have fun with Enes, an acquaintance of Noah who attends the same high school and who shows clear interest in her. She invites him to her garage to read his tarot cards. He suspects there's something more, but that afternoon they don't go any further. The emptiness remains behind the attempt. Enes thinks he's managing to make Lena fall in love. Lena, on the other hand, doesn't sleep well. Every time she closes her eyes, she dreams of Noah and her skin shivers. When she wakes up, she doesn't feel any calmer. She remembers the kisses they shared in their rooms. Her mother mentions that Noah has been writing to her, that he's living in a shared apartment, and that everything is going well. The news sparks a barely concealed anger in Lena. The lack of rest gets the better of her at school. She falls asleep in class, burdened by the weight of insomnia and emptiness. One morning, Enes approaches her to say hello and she acts distant, avoiding his gaze. He mentions that he has been talking to Noah. Lena tenses up, ready for a revelation. Enes says that Noah is dating a Turkish girl who lives with him. The information hits Lena hard and her breathing shortens. She needs to have him all to herself, but she can't get it. In response, she makes a desperate decision. Impulse replaces judgment. In the following weeks, Lena and Enes start dating. They share walks, forced laughter, moments that seem sweet on the surface. Alone in the car, Lena lunges and kisses him hastily. Enes thinks they're going to move forward. He unbuckles his seatbelt, but she stops when she hears him. He insists that he doesn't want to wait to have sex, and the tension returns. Lena doesn't care about Enes. She's using him as a lifeline in a turbulent sea. She wants to forget her brother and can't find a way out. She comes up with a plan. She invites him over when her parents aren't home, takes him up to Noah's room, and drags in the atmosphere of the one who's gone. Transgression becomes a method. Discomfort becomes the norm. In that room, Lena asks Enes to put on one of Noah's used t-shirts. Ennis finds it strange and refuses. She warns him that if he doesn't put it on, there will be nothing in bed. The demand hangs in the air like an order. The night changes temperature. To motivate him, Lena undresses. The sight gives Ennis the determination he was lacking, and he puts on the t-shirt. While he tries to please her, she fixes her gaze on a photograph of Noah stuck to the wall. She fantasizes that she's with her brother and clings to the illusion. The months pass quickly, and in December, Noah returns. Lena waits locked in her room, tense as a wire, until she hears the door. Noah comes in to greet her and she tells him she has a boyfriend. He barely reacts and gets ready to leave, opening up another crack. Lena stops him and demands to know why he never answered her messages or calls. Noah sighs. He sits down next to her and speaks firmly. He says they need to forget what happened between them. He didn't respond because he didn't want to. The hundreds of messages seemed excessive to him. The decision is made and the space between them grows wider. He thinks it's time to pretend and act like ordinary siblings. Lena looks at him with contempt, rejects that possibility, and insists that they should be together. She says that she would even move to Turkey with him without hesitation. Noah dislikes her attitude, gets up, and leaves the room. A silence that fixes nothing. It's Christmas, and the parents invite Cecilia, Noah's friend, to dinner. Lena sees them talking alone and repeatedly interrupts them. She doesn't allow them to talk without her. She gets in the way, tries to separate them. She forces every second. Noah feels uncomfortable. The tension grows. The mother interrupts to ask her to sit down for dinner. Before dinner, Ennis shows up. Lena immediately gets annoyed when she sees him come in without warning. She asks her mother why she invited him. The mother replies that she thought it was a good idea. Lena retorts that she broke up with him last week, right when Noah came back. There's no turning back and the table is set. During dinner, Ennis watches, picks up clues, and confirms what he suspected. Lena is in love with his brother. His expression hardens and his voice turns sharp. He tries to lighten the mood with humor and fails. The atmosphere tightens to the point of discomfort. The night loses all sense of calm. Furious, Ennis decides to tell an anecdote he claims will be funny. Lena listens to him with a serious, expressionless face. He claims that they had sex and that she made him wear one of Noah's t-shirts. He adds that while they were together, she was shouting Noah's name. The word hits the table like glass. After hearing that, Noah stands up and breaks a glass over Enos's head. The shattering of the glass cuts through the murmurs and brings a moment of absolute silence. The father grabs Ennis and takes him out of the house to stop the disaster. The mother, stunned by the turn of events, asks what's going on. Lena says that Ennis is a lying idiot and that's why she broke up with him. But Noah thinks differently and doesn't back down. After that night, Noah returns to Turkey. Lena starts sending him letters, one after another, all of them unanswered. Noah's indifference drives her to despair, ignites her, and pushes her to cross boundaries. She secretly takes a flight to the Turkish capital. She just wants to find him, no matter what it takes. She locates the apartment where he lives. One of his roommates greets her at the door and tells her that Noah has gone to work in Izmir. The lead is concrete and distant. Lena doesn't hesitate. She clings to that piece of information like a lifeline. With determination, she boards a bus and takes a long trip to Izmir. On the way, she remembers that this isn't the first time she's traveled to Turkey to look for him, but the second. The first time was when Ennis told her about a Turkish girl who was dating Noah. When she showed up there, he was stunned by Lena's almost psychopathic intensity. The discomfort was laid bare in broad daylight. Noah made it clear to her that her trip was a big problem. She replied that he was her problem, plain and simple. Desperate, he exclaimed that normal people don't act like they do, and that they should stop. Lena, seeing nothing wrong, said they were just two normal humans having a relationship. Noah, at a loss for words, concluded that she has a twisted way of seeing the world. Back in the present, Lena arrives in Izmir and doesn't find him. She searches so many places that her luggage gets damaged, battered along the way and by all the detours. Exhausted, she finally runs into an acquaintance of Noah's. He tells her that Noah left Izmir a while ago. The news breaks her and leaves her breathless. Devastated, Lena breaks down crying in the middle of the street. A couple of tourists see how upset she is and stop. They decide to help her take a bus back to the capital. Before reaching the capital, Lena decides to take a detour. She heads toward an inn she has visited with her family since she was a child. She asks for Noah at the front desk, her hope on edge. The receptionist checks and confirms that no one has checked in under that name. The conclusion hits her like a stone. Lena realizes that he doesn't want to see her again. She runs into the forest, climbs the hill with her heart racing, and searches for a small fossil they discovered together as children. The past lies exposed. untouched, among the damp roots. She kneels beside the stone. Memory weighs more than the present. Heartbroken, she collapses to the ground and cries for hours. Tears run down her cheek, tracing a small path of water across the earth. Days go by, and the rain pours down on the inn, soaking paths and rooftops. By chance, Noah appears as he returns from work. The reception becomes a point of connection. The receptionist tells him that Lena was looking for him. Noah listens in silence, surprised by the coincidence. When the rain lets up, he goes out to look for her without wasting any time. He senses she might be by the childhood fossil. Urgency pushes him uphill. He runs toward the place they shared as children. Mud splashes, the forest breathes damply, leaves drip. When he arrives, the first thing he sees is a deep puddle, dark as a bottomless mirror. He can't see Lena. He only makes out the dress she was wearing floating on the water. The image pierces him mercilessly. In disbelief, Noah breaks down and weeps for the loss. There are no words, no explanations, only the weight of the irreversible. The forest remains still. The puddle offers no answers. The last echo is his sobbing. The story closes over the emptiness.